Hey, folks. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Get Rich 101. I'm your host. I'm Sekou Writes. This is my fiance, Fee King. And we are talking about money today. Money today.
And every day.
And every day.
Yes. I'm his hostess with the mostest, Fee King.
Yeah.
The body architect. Thank you, New Thought Media Organization, Corporation, Group.
Yep.
Thank you, New Thought Media Group, for giving Sekou Writes this platform to share his wisdom, his knowledge, his passion, and his purpose. And because you did that, I get to have a little piece of it. Every Thankful Thursday, we do this 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 10:15 a.m. So listen, Sekou Writes is not a personal trainer. He's also not a financial advisor. So take everything he says, and he says with a grain of salt, but I'm going to say, take everything he says and implement it for yourself. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, because the dude is a money wizard. I'm just saying. Yeah. I could be biased, but I think you're a money wizard. Let's go.
Okay. Well, there's my intro. And also, I'm a survivor. I survived a hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That means out of 100 people, only 17 would persevere and would live.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm a part of 17%. So I'm happy for that.
So you're a 17%er.
17%er.
You're a 1%er.
1%er for what?
Marathons. Only 1% of people in the world ever run a marathon.
And I ran that marathon right after my stroke.
4 months after his stroke.
Yep.
So you're a 1%er. You've run 2 of the world's largest marathons. You're also a 3%er, my friend. You're a 3%er. We're both 1%ers and 3%ers.
3% for what?
Only 3% of the people in the world ever write a book. Many talk about it. Many pine over it. Many dream about it. Many people are just not about it, but you're about it. Wow. And you've written what? You're working on your 7th book now?
I forget. I don't remember the number because I'm really focused on the most recent book.
Yes.
How to no.
Let me give you some hints.
Hack your pain. Hack your pain now.
Yes.
I'm really focused on that book and a new book, which is Get Rich 101, which is really just embodying what I've been talking about here on the show on Get Rich 101.
Well, let's talk about Hack Your Pain now because literally 7 days. By the way, happy May 1st.
May 1st,
happy
right?
May 1st.
May 1st, right?
This who else feels like this year is flying? It's going so fast. So happy May 1st. Happy birthday to my baby sister, Nikki Brooks.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Nikki
birthday.
Brooks. AKA Miss Beauty J'adore.
Yes, yes.
And so literally 6 days from today. What's going down in 6 days? What's going down on May 7th, sir?
You're
No, not me.
Oh, Reverend Melissa's book club meeting.
Yes. Book study with the one and only.
Yeah, with the one and only.
You.
Oh. Yeah.
Sekou's a little tired this morning, y'all.
I'm not tired.
You're not?
I messed up on the trading. That's what I'm feeling.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. So I'm shaking it off.
When?
This morning.
No, when are you gonna shake it off?
I'm shaking it as we're talking. I'm shaking it. I'm shaking it.
So this is about the trade?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should we pivot and talk about it or?
Well, briefly.
Okay.
Briefly. I bought in at a certain level.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
But it already jumped to that level. And so what it did is it held me at that level until it came back down and then let me in. So it was green. I was like, what? And then it caught me on the way back down. So I got to figure out why that happened. Because I bought it intending to ride it up. But I'm not sure why that happened, but it caught me on the red coming down. So hopefully I can catch something else on the booby trap. But
well, I think that we know, right? That we know that trading stocks whether it's day trading, Forex, investing in stocks through a financial advisor, through a brokerage firm like we do, Charles Schwab. It's like life. Life is up and down. It's never constant.
Yeah.
We live in a perpetual state of flux.
Flux,
yeah. And so I think this is the game, right?
Yeah. This is the game. But you should want to have everything to work the way you want it to.
Oh,
that's
really?
what I'm trying to do. Have it work the way I want it to. So that's what I work on. There's something else I need to figure out.
The last time I wanted things to work the way that I wanted them to, God just started cracking up. Like, really? Then you missed the lesson in it.
How do you know the guy was laughing?
Oh, because I was crying. And because my life went a different direction and it looked a different way. And so I believe, and part of it is scripture, but it's a line from a Woody Allen movie. And so in the movie, in the 70s, there was a scene where the character thought that his life was going to go as he envisioned it. Like, I see my life unfolding right before me, and it's going to be amazing and beautiful, and the path is going to be laid out perfectly. And the line was, if you want to make God laugh, tell God your plans, because his life didn't go that way. His life didn't look anything like that, but it ends up looking far better than you envisioned.
You know what? I've seen that in a cartoon. My mom has it from this old cartoon from a way long time ago, and it's a cartoon, and it's like God sitting in his chair laughing. He's just laughing. He's laughing, and then you see the man down there planning his like thought bubble, and God is laughing at it. Oh, he's laughing at the weather report. God is laughing at the weather report, like So yeah, that's a cute analogy. Yeah.
And we get to remember it because we're sometimes so tied to our own vision of our lives. And when we either hit a road bump or have a hiccup, we think, oh my goodness, what's happening? And sometimes you just need to be in the flow and go with it. And for me, it's been a matter of surrendering. I just surrender. I surrender.
Okay.
I stopped fighting so hard. I stopped thinking that I'm in control. And Rev Melissa, she frames it beautifully, which is God is my source. Because I know for me, and I even I had this on my answering machine. Yeah, I'm going back that far. I had an outgoing greeting on my answering machine that said, if it's meant to be, it's up to Fee.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was a long message too. It was a long message. I was like, what? Is she gonna hang up or is she gonna leave? Like, when is she gonna hang up? It was a long message. Yeah.
The arrogance.
Yeah.
And that comes from a poem. And I got that from a writer friend of mine, Mike Ajacque. Rest in peace, Mike Ajacque. When I called his answering machine, that was his greeting. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I was like, oh, I love that. And so now I've just reframed it, rejiggered it. If it's meant to be, it's up to Fee.
It's up to Fee.
And God.
And God.
Yeah, because God has the will.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just doing my part, which is believing, showing up, and staying in action. Believing, showing up, and staying in action.
Yeah, so this will begin our segue.
Oh.
But I was watching, I think it was Grant Cardone.
Love Grant Cardone.
Yeah, but I
10X.
10X.
Go home, go big, or go what?
Go home.
No, go bigger.
Yeah,
go bigger.
That's right. That's what he tricks people. They say go home, and he tricks them. Yeah. So anyway, I was watching him, and it reminded me that how you picture something occurring is not how it occurs. Like, you just got to take a step out on faith. And so that reminded me. So I sent out my text message, because I've been playing games before I sent out text message.
Is it called playing games or procrastinating?
Procrastinating. I've been procrastinating. Okay. So I finally took the plunge and sent the text out about my race that I want to do for July 14th, my second birthday.
Third birthday.
Third birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, my third in a row. Yeah, my third birthday.
He said third birthday? Yeah. You're going to be 3 years old.
3 years old, yeah. My second life birthday.
Yeah.
And so I just knew that it's going to look different than however I imagine it. And so just move instead of, because I kept thinking about thinking, and I just go with it and see where it takes me. So
and I think that's such a beautiful lesson, Sekou. Lately, I've been thinking about what if our ancestors never, and I get emotional thinking about it, but what if our ancestors never imagined themselves free? What if they never had the audacity to remind themselves that they come from royalty, that they come from a rich land, rich soil, that they have hundreds of different languages and tongues? Like, what if they forgot that, contrary to what was attempted to be implanted into their subconscious, that they were not even human? What if they never even imagined themselves being free and contributing to society and having children who were free? Like, we would not be here today. We would not be who we are. And we would not be able to have these incredible dreams and be able to move about the world freely if they didn't start with just a vision of themselves somewhere other than where they were in captivity. And every time, sorry.
No, that reminded me. So you said what you said.
I said what I said.
And what drew down into my imagination was it Sojourner Truth? And Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. Well, shout out to Harriet Cole.
Shout out to Harriet Cole.
Shout out to Harriet Cole. Harriet Tubman. Because I was thinking about that scene where she says, listen, if you're coming with me, you're coming. But if you're not coming, you're going to kiss this lid. You're going to kiss the lid because there's no turning back. There's no turning back. And I remember all the people that kept trying to turn back.
Yes.
I mean, they were all gung-ho about starting the race, but then they started to come back. And she was like, listen, bro, you go back if you want to, but where you're going is you're going to kiss the lid. Yeah. And
I love that. I love that you brought that up, because change is scary. And it's just because we've been conditioned into it versus remembering that we've been changing since inception, since we arrived here. Can you imagine if a newborn baby didn't change?
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing newborn babies out there driving cars because they never changed, they never grew, they never morphed into more than they were?
Right.
Like, change is inevitable, change is natural and normal. And once you release the binds that are tying you to who you think you are, you're never going to come to the realization of who you could become. But you got to be willing.
You got to be willing.
You got to be willing.
You got to be do more than think you're willing. You got to be willing. You got to be willing.
Grant Cardone said, I'm down for, positive thoughts. He said, I get that. He said, but how many of us are thinking positively, but doing negatively? We're thinking about it, but we're not moving in action. We're conceiving ourselves somewhere other than where we are, and someone other than who we are, but we're not putting it into action. And I applaud you, Sekou, because a lot of times we'll use our situation as an excuse as to why not. Oh, I had a stroke.
Oh, yeah.
I don't move the way that I used to. I don't move as fast as I used to. My memory is not what it used to be. And so I don't know if I can put on a race.
Yeah, I've done that myself. I've used those excuses a lot, but then I still get out and do it, whatever it is. And so that's
why I applaud you.
Thank you.
Are you about to play
I was about to play
let's do it.
Grant. Let's see.
Let's do it. Thank you, Fatima West. Yes, share with your folks. We have a big announcement. Please invite your people. Please encourage your people. Fatima West naturally does that. So we're going to play a video. You won't see it here on my page, but I've been sharing it and I'll share it. One of the things that Sekou and I do every single day, Some days it's 20 minutes. Some days it's 2.5 hours. The other day we spent, and I said to Sekou, I said, I'm so proud of us. We spent 2.5 hours on watching.
I can go longer than that.
Absorbing, and because he also incorporates his stock and day trading work.
Yeah.
But we spend, again, 20 minutes to 2.5 hours every single day on watching, absorbing, and implementing. And the implementation of it is taking notes and then putting it into action. So we've been back on Undercover Billionaire.
Undercover Billionaire. Making sure you don't forget the title.
We were at dinner. A friend of mine came into town. Shout out to Erica Pitts. Oh, by the way, happy birthday. Also, Erica Pitts, her birthday is Saturday. Her actual birthday is Saturday. So we had dinner. We went to a Black-owned vegan restaurant. And at the table, we're talking about the things that we watch. So other people are talking about news, things that we didn't even know was going on in the world. And we're talking about Undercover Billionaire. And so Sekou's going to run this video. I just wanted to make sure it was all the way up, babe.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone is spitting some truth.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
I would love, like, one of the most exciting things to me is solve this diversity issue between whites and blacks and this big gap we have, the wealth gap. I'd love to solve that issue. Like, I'd like to be the guy that I want to use entertainment and education and just like kind of erase the line between the two. Really, really entertainment and business, and also white and black. Like I want to, on Clubhouse, like I would love, like, one of the most.
So what he was saying at the end of that video, the guy who was interviewing him is a brother who I've never heard of, but he has a very popular podcast called Sleep is for Suckers.
Sleep is for suckers.
Sleep. I was like, okay.
It's a brother.
Sleep is for suckers. And it appears as though he and Grant met in Clubhouse. So at the end of that video, Grant was sharing with this brother that he really wants to be a part of a DEI initiative in an epic way. He said where we can close the gap between the disparities in the economics between blacks and whites. And he said when he's in Clubhouse, which if you're not familiar with that app, it's an app. I won't go all into it, but when he's in Clubhouse, he tends to gravitate towards clubhouses that have a black room, a black audience.
Voices, black voices,
because he loves the language. He loves the culture. He said, I love the music. And that's what I want to do with this next phase of his business and his life. And when he said that, I was like,
when he said that, when he said that you want new problems, you want to talk to a room full of black people because we've got new problems and information in a different kind of way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are his words. These are not my words, but these
his
are his words.
His words.
He said, black people are interesting. I want to echo that. Yeah. Not to say that other cultures and races are not, because I am personally really drawn to the Latin culture. I was sharing my sister. I was on the phone with Nikki when I was getting my coffee, and the folks at La Cafe Cafe. Shout out to La Cafe Cafe.
Shout out to La Cafe Cafe, because you guys love Feed King. You said Alpha Feed King. Well, I can't tell you how many times I've been to that coffee shop before Feed King came along. And she has converted it. She has made it Fee's place to work. That's all I want to say.
And it's because it's reciprocal. They feed me, I feed them. And I'm speaking in Spanish, and the manager, her name is Evelyn. She's like, oh my God. She's like, your accent has gotten so much better.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said this morning.
Wow.
And I said, one day I hope to come in here and place my entire order in Spanish.
What?
Yeah.
Well, shit, I got to practice now. I got to practice.
And Nikki said, do they know that you already think you're Spanish? I was like, they know. And they know once I learn Spanish fluently, I'm giving up my black card just for a year. And I told Nikki, my sister, I said, I'm going to have Spanish speaking sisters. I said, so I'll be leaving you in Chandler just for a year, but I'll be back. I'm joking. But I love the Latin culture. I love the music. I love the language. I love the food. And so I understand what Grant was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But what's most important is that sometimes we, as Black and brown people, we think, why would other cultures and ethnicities support us in business? Why would they support us?
Mm-hmm.
And they would support us not because they feel sorry for us, not because we don't deserve it and we're not brilliant and bright. They support us because of their level of awareness. And they realize that the playing field has never been even, not even close. It has never been even.
Yeah.
And so when you have that level of awareness, you realize when I know better, I can do better.
Yeah.
I actually get to do something about it because I'm in a financial position to do that.
All right.
And until the meantime, in between time, until that happens, we in the Black and brown community must do that for ourselves. We must stop talking about it. Like Grant said, you know, having all of these grandiose thoughts, but you're not doing anything about it.
What?
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have ideal thoughts. Everyone has thoughts. Everyone has ideas. But how do you go from having an idea to working the idea to doing something? Like, that's a much smaller percentage. A much smaller percentage.
And the way that I think you do that is the way that you and I have done it collectively, individually, and other people. The way that you do that is you show up in the face of fear.
Yep.
And you simply exhibit courage.
Yeah.
The interviewer asked Grant, do you fear anything? Because like this guy was kind of fanboying out. Yeah. He was kind of fanboying out, which is fine because I would be like, oh my goodness. Grant said, I am fearful every single day.
Yeah.
He said,
fearful of everything.
He said that. I'm fearful of everything.
But I go ahead and do it.
But I do it. And he said that is the definition of courage. To have courage in the face of fear. And we would be here for hours if I shared all of the things that I've faced in the midst of being terrified.
Yes.
Like right now, what we are embarking upon right now in this moment, it both terrifies me and excites me. And Rev Melissa's daughter would call that nerve-sighted. I'm so excited. I'm so on fire, but I'm so terrified. And so, okay, we're going to segue.
Yeah, you segued. You were seguing already. So I
wanted to see some more videos, but something, and I can't, so Rev Melissa said, when I shared this concept with her, it's a concept and it's morphed from a concept into a system. When I shared it with Rev Melissa, she said, Fee, this feels ancestral. And not until she planted that seed. And then you just shared your story about Harriet Tubman. I remember watching the Harriet Tubman movie. And I've watched several documentaries. And she said that she received like a message from God. And I've heard people say that. And I've heard Rev Melissa talk about downloads getting a download from God.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't understand it. I was just like, I don't know. A lot of religious and spiritual words just never really resonated with me because I didn't grow up in church. And so, but I took it for face value. I thought, okay, so I guess she communicates with God. I get that. And then I realized I do communicate with God, but not, I wouldn't frame it in the way of a download. And so something happened that really freaked me out a couple Thursdays ago. It's not even been a month. While I'm having a conversation with a fellow entrepreneur, shout out to Her Glow Candy Shop, Ife Thomas, I received what I am now framing as a God load, because it's not something that came from me. It's not something that I sat down and thought about. It's not something I was thinking, how can I pivot? How can I serve more people? How can I serve myself while I'm serving more people? None of that. It literally dropped into my mind, my head.
Yep, that's God load.
And it was so powerful and so strong. When I hung up with Ife, I spent 5 hours researching and implementing. I said, I've got to move forward with this. And at the time, I didn't know why it was a 5. And so I came up with this concept was dropped into my spirit, the circle of 5. It didn't have a name. but it morphed into the Circle of Five, Fund Us Forward, where entrepreneurs, business owners, men and women, initially it was just women, men and women, get to reach out to their community. And that community consists of local business owners like La Cafe.
Yeah, right.
That community consists of your family, your friends, social media, your neighbors, your email database, and inviting them to support your business. Like, how many of us are operating our businesses on a hope and a prayer? I mean, that would be me. And so I realized the 5 came, it's an angelic number. It's a spiritual number. I had no idea. And so this whole thing is operating from a God load. And I just asked Source to connect me with like-minded people. So I put it out there, and not in a big way. I just put it out there. People showed up. I was honestly surprised. And afterwards, Sekou treated me to dinner because he was like, babe, you did such a good job.
Yes, I did.
And so now Sekou and I decided, like, why are we not in business together? Why are we not sharing our story, our tools, our digital products, our tangible products together? And I was like, because
we're already together.
We're already together. I said, because if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And we've had these individual plans, and God was like, okay, y'all keep doing that and see how far you get. But what would happen if you teamed up together, if you pulled your resources together, and if you channeled your energies together? And so we've put this system together, and we have 5 entrepreneurs, business owners who said, yes, Fee, I too need my business funded. I too need a marketing budget, an advertising budget. I need to hire a staff. Like, I need to go from working inside of my business to actually being in business. And we are launching these individual campaigns starting tomorrow with Sekou and I, Fee King Holdings, LLC.
And Sekouwritesdotcom Holdings, LLC.
And thanks to this guy, when I was forming my LLC, you are the one who said to me, because I thought my LLC should be Fee's Fitness Over 40. And Sekou was like, Fee, you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't name my LLC that. And I was like, why? He said, because you're much more than fitness.
Oh, wow.
You said that. You said you're much more than fitness. And I was like, yeah, but that's what I do. He said, now. That's what you're doing now. He said, but you and he reminded me of what I used to do and where I was going. And I couldn't even see where I was going. I was so limited in my scope. Like, my vision of where I was going was so limited. And so because of you, under the umbrella of our LLCs are all of our offerings. And we've decided to form a new LLC so that our products company will be under that umbrella. We will be reaching out to, when I say everyone, I will be reaching out to everyone and saying, we're in business, reminding you we are in business. We are in business to serve our community and to grow our business as businesses and to support 5 other businesses at a time. So we will be facilitating this 5-week Circle of 5 Fund Us Forward business cohort, where we will be raising funds and asking our community to invest in us, to support us, to edify us, and to amplify our message.
Yes.
Circle of 5.
Circle of 5. And there we have it. We got everything written up for you on StreamYard, but
we'll show it here. We'll show it here. Fatima said you said that. And then I want to really quickly shout out the businesses we have. So I love that we have New York City, we have Maryland, we have a coach, a consultant, we have Omaha, Nebraska in the house, and potentially LA is coming on, and we are super excited. And so we'll have more information, meaning as a company, we'll have more feedback once we finish this first 5-week beta pilot system so that we can move forward with the next 5 businesses. I'm so excited, y'all. And you know what I realized, Sekou, is that sometimes we get stuck in feeling like we need to know everything. And I don't know hardly anything. And I'm still moving forward.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Don't know anything. Keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Small steps, big steps. Keep moving forward.
Amen and Ashe.
Ashe, y'all. So we'll see you next time.
Oh, this has been Get Rich 101. I'm your
Yes.
local fitness go-to girl, Fee King, the body architect, and he is
the money wizard. Sekouw Writes, the money wizard.
Yes.
All right. See you guys later.
Peace.